Greetings, welcome to Market Matters. I'm Khoo, and as usual, I'm joined by Sulhi Azman. Max, or Sulhi, as your friends know you as. The KLCI dropped by 0.2% to 1669 points this afternoon, valued at 1.7 billion ringgit, volume at 1.8 billion shares. Uppers were Kosan Rubber, SHH and Hapseng. Downers were Pharmaniaga, SIAM and TGL. But of course, the Malaysian Stock Exchange fell along with the rest of the region because there's a bit of a, in fact, it's much more than a bit, it's a global commodities route.
Yeah.
And oil's at, of course, West Texas is in the 30s, $38 a barrel. Brent is at $41 a barrel. Everything's being hit. Copper, metals, mining resources, all down. So it's a bit of a bloodbath today.
Definitely. I mean, OPEC, countries are not seeming to be ongoing on impasse. Stonewalling, as I've read from here, one person cut pleas, and they're not seeming to be cutting off the supply.
Yeah, no. Despite the warmer comments from the Saudis in the last few days, they haven't made any statements in terms of cutting production, and of course, as a result, oil prices continue to be. We saw oil prices drop by 2% yesterday by $6 a barrel. So, the other specter on the horizon is the fact that the Federal Reserve meets in 9 days' time. Everybody expects them to announce the first rate rise in 9 years. That's obviously going to see a lot of money leave emerging markets, as much as $800 billion max, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I mean, everybody has been anticipating Janet Yellen to pull that interest rate trigger. Will she or will not she on December 15? But anyway, looking on the regional market today, Japan has dodged recession with slightly better 3Q GDP numbers. Nikkei was down today at 1.04% to 19,402.6 points. How does the Shanghai market close today?
Well, the four main markets that I've looked at today, the Australia's ASX 200 dropped by 1% to 5109. The Hang Seng down by 1.3% to 21905. Then Shanghai Composite down by nearly 2% to 3470. And the Nikkei 225 also down by 1% to 19493. So everybody a bit of a bloodbath in the regional markets today. Let's move along to Hotstocks, and Instacom is in play. Now, this is the transmission tower company that wants to transition into construction. They are widely seen, following their purchase of Vivocom, the construction firm, to be a proxy for China, CRCC, the Chinese construction giant's entry into Malaysia. And of course, the latest news flow is that they've just won a deal worth 116 million ringgit from CRCC to build a gated community housing scheme. And this brings their total order book for Malaysia from CRCC to nearly 600 million ringgit.
Yeah, correct. And Instacom today, which is going to change name to Vivocom, closed up 9% to 30.5 cent. And you are right, they've been getting a lot of contracts. Basically, the contract entails the Rumah Selangor Khoo project in Bandar Ulu Klang, Gombak, Selangor, where with this job, right, they are going to be accretive to their earnings. But I think Chuang, moving on from this telco into construction companies, there might be, is there still room for them to maneuver in this in this volatile market?
Well, it depends on who you're doing business with, because if this is all true and they do business with CRCC, they've got lots of stuff going on in Malaysia. And 600 million ringgit is just the tip of the iceberg, because according to Dato Sri Yeo Sing Mok, the chief executive, he said that there's going to be a lot more contract wins from that side of the world in 2016 and 2017. His pipeline projects alone are estimated at 2 billion ringgit currently. So, CIMB initiated coverage on the stock about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. They called a buy with a target price of 67 cents, which at the time I think was nearly twice what Instacom is trading at.
Yeah, correct. And I think CIMB says investors should take advantage of this current price weakness to accumulate Instacom shares. And Instacom is still trading at 30.5 cents. There's still more room to maneuver and a lot of more upsides going on there.
Exactly. So, of course, we saw the downside last week because of the Fajar Baru confusion, the fact that the market thought that Fajar Baru was going to steal the thunder from Instacom. So it's not the case. So to wrap up, Instacom, the construction company, has just won a 116 million ringgit contract from CRCC of China. The total contract wins from CRCC so far this year has totaled nearly 600 million ringgit. And according to CIMB, this price weakness in Instacom is a good chance to collect some more stock in the company. Let's move along to a couple stocks. In fact, one stock with momentum, and it's Federal Furniture Malaysia Bhd. Now, they closed the day 3% lower to 69 cents. And not many people know this, Max. Federal Furniture is the exclusive fit-out company for Starbucks in 11 ASEAN countries excluding China. So they've got a stranglehold on Starbucks outlets in the coffee shops all over Asia, and on the basis of that business from Starbucks, they've had a bumper Q3 earnings.
Yeah, correct. And if you look at the earnings, right, the earnings actually, net profit actually doubled to 2.3 million ringgit, while revenue actually nearly doubles to 28 million ringgit. I think they're riding the growth in Starbucks, and everybody seems to be taking Starbucks.
Absolutely. I just want to reiterate that this is, of course, the Edge research. They came out with a positive momentum call on Federal Furniture, and they, of course, closed the day 3% lower to 69 cents. Bit of background on Federal Furniture. They were incorporated in 1962. They do three kinds of businesses, which is interior fit-out, manufacturing and export, and retail. In the latest quarterly numbers, the Q3 numbers ended September, revenue doubled to 28 million ringgit, net profit doubled to 2.3 million ringgit. And they said that basically they, like other furniture makers around Malaysia, have been having a stellar a year because of export earnings and dollar-denominated earnings, just like all the rest of them, whether it's Signature or whether it's Heavy Board, all the other furniture makers.
Yeah, correct. And this, and they said that the higher exports in the region was up by 93% in the ASEAN, Japan by up 33%, and Korea by 59%, which means that they are really one of those dollar-denominated players.
Exactly. So to take it all home, to summarize what's happening with Federal Furniture, they had a great set of Q3 earnings thanks to record sales at Starbucks, which is their exclusive client. They are also having an earnings momentum that's driven by export sales to Asia, and of course the beneficiaries of US dollar strength.